welcome you to Ball State basketball here on the road against the Toledo Rockets. Mid-American Conference action. There's only a few games left to go. We apologize for the delayed start. Working through some technical difficulties here from Toledo, Ohio. David Eha McTidra with you on a very abbreviated Greg Hubler countdown to tip-off. See all vehicles for sale at promisekept.com. That's promisekept.com. For all of your needs, check out Greg Hubler Ford and Hyundai. Let's quickly race through today's starting lineups for the Ball State Cardinals. Third-year head coach Michael Lewis. It's the same lineup that he's had in the last few games. Fat Hill, Ethan Britton Watts, Mickey Pearson Jr., Wansi Gorosito, Peyton Sparks. E, why don't you run through your thoughts on that starting rotation?
Yeah, I mean, look, 1-3 in a row. This unit, he's shortened the rotation a little bit. Guys getting major minutes. And you got Hernandez coming off the bench, averaging 16 points a game in the last two.
And this is a Toledo Rockets team under Todd Kowalczyk. In his 15th season, 15-10, 8-4 in the conference. Ball State 13-12, 6-6 in the Mid-American Conference. Like you said, they've won 3 straight, 2 of those in the MAC. Going up against this Rockets squad that has lost 2 straight games. They're trying to figure things out, as odd as it is to say that about a Todd Kowalczyk-led group. They are still not completely in the groove of what they typically are, as getting a look at the starting lineups here for the Toledo Rockets. Toledo is going to have Javon Simmons in the rotation. It was a question whether if he would go today. He has been a star, 6.5 rebounds, leads the team. Sonny Wilson also in the starting lineup. He's been a force to be reckoned with, 6th in the conference with 15.5 points per game. Sam Lewis shooting 46% from 3, also in the starting lineup. And then joining them is Jalen Owinga, the 3.5 points, 2.5 rebounds per game. And then rounding out the starting lineup is Bryce Ford, the sophomore. First in MAC play in free throw percentage. He gets there, he scores, he's efficient. And that starting lineup is starting to try and figure things out, but it's been a little bit of a rocky road the last few games.
Yeah, it has been a rocky road, and because of that, there is one change in the starting lineup. You mentioned Jalen Owinga, the freshman, is going to be starting in place of Isaiah Adams. If you'll remember, the transfer from Buffalo in the first game against the Cardinals had 20 points on 9 of 16 field goals. He was a handful, had 5 turnovers in their loss against Eastern Michigan. So changing the starting lineup, putting the freshman in there. And you mentioned Javon Simmons. Left the Eastern Michigan game with a ankle sprain, did not practice yesterday. He is their big guy in the post. So it was a game-time decision. Looks like he's going to go, so that's important for Toledo, especially to go against Peyton Sparks.
An abbreviated Greg Hubler countdown to tip-off today due to some technical difficulties, but let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station ID on the Cardinals Gamebridge Radio Network from Learfield. Welcome back into Savage Arena. Ball State on the road to take on the Toledo Rockets from Toledo, Ohio. David Eha McTidra with you. And Matt Tuttle back in our network studios producing here today. This is the Greg Hubler countdown to tip-off. And when the Cards win, you win. 50% off regular price city-size Pete City toppings at Papa John's. Offer valid until end of business on the day of a win by phone or in person only at Marion, Muncie, and Anderson locations.
All right, partner. Yeoman's work, my man, to get us on the air here. Talk about working under pressure.
I appreciate you, E. Thank you, everybody, for being patient. Thank you, Mr. Eha, for being patient as we were itching to get this thing started. It's a big one, so let's do it. Let's have some fun here from Toledo, Ohio, as Ball State looks for 4 straight victories. And the Toledo Rockets look to avoid 3 straight losses in MAC play for the first time since 2020. It's been a minute since Todd Kowalczyk and this group has had backs against the wall.
Yep.
In MAC play like this.
This game is all about who can defend. You know, both these teams can score. They shoot it at a high rate. Both have struggled at times defensively.
Here we go. Ball State wins the opening tap as Peyton Sparks lets it loose back to Wansi Gorosito, who softly puts it in the lap of Ethan Britton Watts. And Ball State works it from right to left to begin play here in Savage Arena. Wansi Gorosito kick back to Ethan Britton Watts in the right wing, into the corner right to Pearson. Ball State scoring 76 points per game at entry pass to Sparks. Kick out, Gorosito, left wing three, bangs it home on the first try of the night. Ball State's up 3-0, 30 seconds in.
What a kick out by Sparks. I mean, he caught that in the restricted arc, could have easily taken it up, threw it out to a wide open Gorosito, picks up right where he left off.
And Ball State trying to go quickly on offense, and now goes back on defense as Sam Lewis, the sophomore out of Chicago, Illinois, stop and pop, hits a two at the free throw line right. It is a 3-2 Ball State lead, 40 seconds in. Ball State possession as they're wearing the road red uniforms today, white numbers and trim. Toledo's in the classic home whites with the golden trim as well. Fat Hill free throw line, pulls up, rattles out, rebound. Hauled in by Sonny Wilson, the sophomore out of Pontiac, Michigan. Left wing, it's Bryce Ford, the sophomore from Scottsdale, Arizona. Runs toward the baseline right, kicks it back out. It's Simmons, and he misses the shot just outside the free throw line right. Oh, board from Ford. Put back, no. Sparks hauls down the Ball State rebound. Here go the Cardinals with a 3-2 lead, 18:36 first half. Gorosito picking up right where he left off. Got a season best 24 points last time out with 5 threes. Has the first bucket tonight for Ball State as they dish it down to Pearson. Baseline left, turnaround. Jay, oh so smooth.
So, Mick, Toledo switches 1 through 5. You had the point guard, Sonny Wilson, guarding Mickey Pearson. He just raised up on top of him.
Pearson, 12.5 points per game, shooting at 43% from the field. Gives Ball State a 3-point lead, 2 minutes in. Into the corner left, it's Ford. 3-point ball, pops off the rim, rebound to Simmons. And the Ohio-Kentucky All-Star Game rep Simmons wheels it to the right wing to Ford. Back to Simmons, free throw line extended, attacks against Sparks. Sparks holds his ground and Simmons flips it up and in. And Javin Simmons cuts the lead to 1, 5-4 Ball State.
All right, Mick, something to watch. That's 2 offensive rebounds for the Rockets. They had 15 in the first matchup. Cards did a good job getting initial stops, got to finish with rebounds.
Sparks at the top of the key for Ball State. Hands off Gorosito. Gorosito corner left. Fat Hill is wide open. Misses well short. Sparks the offensive rebound. Put back short. He grabs his miss. Heaves it up. Another miss. And Ford secures it for Toledo. Rockets go left to right. Ball State 5. Toledo 4 with 17-10 first half. Both teams settling into this one from Savage Arena. Lewis, a right wing three, bounces out. And Watts, the defensive rebound for the Cards. Ethan Britton Watts had a big bucket last game in overtime, gives it off to Pearson, left wing, bounces out. Hill the offensive rebound, there's contact, and a whistle blows.
Yeah, I think they're going to get Sam Lewis. That's an important foul. He's one of their best players, if not the best player. Ben Hendricks going to come in, Peyton Sparks out.
That's the only substitution on the floor for either team, so Owinga guards Hendricks, who just checked in. Head coach Michael Lewis, arms folded on the far side right near midcourt. Todd Kowalczyk, hands on hips, head coach for Toledo as he watches Watts throw it into Gorosito, who fades away in the corner left and drills a three.
Teams know it's coming. That same inbounds play where they give Wansey a three in the corner, just can't stop it.
Gorosito's 2 for 2 from distance, and Ball State with an 8-4 lead, 16:40 first half. Simmons hands it off to Ford, curls off a screen at the free throw line right, dumps it down to the baseline right to Owinga. Hill steps into it and steals it. Here goes Ball State from right to left, and Hill throws a lob. That's way over the head of Hendricks, and out of bounds baseline left. The Cardinals turn it over for the second time.
Yeah, so interesting. Back-to-back turnovers by each team. Mick, both of these teams forced the fewest turnovers in the MAC. So this should not be a game with high turnovers. It's who's going to get extra possessions out of second chance points.
And who can force them to shots? It's Wilson, stopped the free throw line right by Watts. Cards up 4, Simmons turns on Hendricks, goes up, hits it, and draws the foul. Simmons has a chance for a three-point play as the lead for Ball State stands at 8-6 with 16:10 to go in the first half.
Well, Javin Simmons, 6'7", 235. He's a beast in there. Ben Hendricks, if you're going to foul in that situation, don't let him make the basket, right? And Isaiah Adams is going to come in for the freshman, Jalen Owinga. Simmons, 70% free throw shooter, lefty.
And Simmons' free throw knocks home. Old-fashioned three-point play. Ball State with a 1-point lead as we approach 16 minutes to go here in the first half. From Toledo, Ohio in Savage Arena. Watts crosses the timeline, gives it off to Mickey Pearson Jr., who's already hit one bucket in this game. Gorosito curls off a screen, a couple of threes for him already. Pearson heaves it to Hendricks. Simmons guards him, 10 to shoot. Fat Hill, top of the key, running into a double team. Whips it out to Watts, baseline left. Fadeaway shot, misses short, draws a foul.
Is that Lewis?
And Watts is going to the free throw line. We'll see who this is on. It looks like it's on Sam Lewis.
Wow, that is a huge call. The second foul on Sam Lewis.
So Ball State's going to the free throw line with Ethan Britton Watts for 2 shots. When we come back, Lewis has 2 fouls. And it looks like Todd Kowalczyk is going to the bench to replace Lewis. We'll talk about that when we come back. Cards lead 15:45 first half on the Gamebridge Radio Network for Learfield. Back inside Savage Arena, Ball State leads Toledo 8-7 early on. 15:45 to go here in the first half. Ethan Britton Watts stands at the free throw line left for Ball State to shoot 2 free throws and hits the first one at the line here in Toledo, Ohio. Hey, if you're tired of your friends looking so good without a filter, if you're tired of using a filter, achieve your best self with subtle yet significant enhancements at Muncie's premier destination for skin rejuvenation. Check out Revitalize-Med-Spa.com for more information. Ask for the $25 Ball State discount. Watts hits both Cardinals by 3. Inside 16 minutes, first half. Isaiah Adams, the 5th-year grad transfer from Buffalo, has it on the left wing. Gives it off to Wilson, top of the key. Wilson receives a screen and then starts driving toward the free throw line. Right, Hill steals it. Hill has open daylight and heaves one down with a right-handed jam. Here we go from Savage Arena. Baseline right. Adams flicks one up. He misses right. Gorosito has it tap off his hands, and then it was also touched by Ford out of bounds baseline right, so it's Ball State possession leading 12-7, 15:09 first half.
And Mick Fat will get credit for the steal and the dunk, but it was Ethan Britton Watts that forced that turnover. Great D on Wilson. An important point. Sam Lewis picking up that foul. That's the max leading three-point shooter. A guy averaging 15 a game goes to the bench.
And Coach Lewis was saying, hey, Sam Lewis is somebody who's a really good player. He called him a high major player in the interview that you didn't get to hear because of our technical difficulties. Hopefully we can get to that at some point. Here's Hill, free throw line left, and it's an offensive foul as this one charged on Hendricks for Ball State. Cardinals turn it over, leading 12-7, 14:49 here to go in the first half.
That's a good call. I mean, Ben that was a moving screen. He stuck that right hip out. The officials are going to call that every time. Simmons is on the bench, so Peyton Sparks has a chance to go against Gerger Burchick and do some work inside.
And Burchick checks in as Adams' right wing three bounces out. Long rebound to Fat Hill. It's one-on-one with Adams. Bump and run. Up and in off the window. Fat Hill's feeling it early. 14-7. Ball State with 14:30 first half. Baseline right, it's Wilson who has it. Watts stops him. Chucks it back out to Ford. Burchick to Ford. Ford, free throw line extended, driving against Sparks. Kick out, Adams, left wing, three for the lefty, dribbles it down. Cuts it to a 4-point game, 14-10 inside, rather approaching 14 minutes. Ball State with a 4-point lead here early on at Savage Arena. Coach Kowalczyk, far side left, calling out the orders for Toledo's defense. As Gorosito racing baseline left, hands it off to Sparks, back to Gorosito. They keep going back and forth. Sparks, baseline left, right-handed hook shot, falls in off the window.
What a nice, patient move, using that right hand from about 10 feet.
Ball State shooting 60% here in the first half, 6 of 10 and 2 of 4 from 3. Wilson drives, on the run, bad shot, misses long. Sparks rebounds, and Ball State pushing it out right to left with a chance to push this to 3 possessions. Gorosito left wing 3 rolls around and pops out. Hit his first 2, misses that one. Wilson the rebound for Toledo, bumps against Watts, and Wilson dribbles in between his legs before leaving it for Burchick. Burchick, Wilson, baseline right, cut off again from Watts. Ford, the sophomore, drives against Gorosito, races toward the cup, loses control. Sparks regains possession for Ball State, and a jump ball force. It's Toledo possession. 12:57 first half, 16-10. Ball State leads Toledo, but Ford is down, grabbing his right foot ankle area for Toledo, and he's on his backside.
Well, that's going to be an interesting situation because Bryce Ford, also one of their better three-point shooters, 40%.
Training staff's helping Ford, and Ford is limping, grabbing his left ankle area. Slowly walking off the court, so good to see him get up.
And that's going to bring Seth Hubbard, the Western Michigan transfer. And boy, Mick, he has really struggled. He was the max leading returning scorer, averaged 14 a game last year, only 7 points this season. A 20% three-point shooter. Last year he made 69. Mick, he's 3 for his last 32. Incredible.
It's been tough. Hubbard and Lorenzen check in. Into the left wing, here's Adams driving baseline right. Mason Jones just checked in for Ball State. Stops Adams in his tracks. Hill pops one toward midcourt and recollected by Hubbard. Hubbard driving to the free throw line right. Hill's right there. Hubbard a three-point ball, misses short. Rebound Wilson in the corner right for Toledo. And they have a second chance opportunity. Wilson to Hubbard, left wing, he's wide open, lets loose a 3, rolls around and out, ball pops up, another offensive rebound. Adams kicks it, Lorenzen, right corner 3, and they miss another one, and it's popped into the lap of Jones. Ball State has it, leading 16-10, 12-15 and ticking here in the first half. That has just been a quick pace back and forth, both teams shooting and taking lots of shots. Here's Hill, corner right, Jones. Jones surveys. Holds the ball at his head, gives off Jeremiah Hernandez. Hernandez coming off a couple of really good games. Off to Fat Hill, 4 to shoot, free throw line left, bounces out. Sparks climbs for the rebound, and he's fouled before he can secure it. And this one charged to Burchick. So Burchick picks up his first, and that's the under 12 minute timeout. Ball State 16, Toledo 10, here from Savage Arena. Pride Mark Construction Student Athlete of the Week, brought to you in part by Pride Mark Construction. Excellence and the higher standards of quality are the focus of Pride Mark. Our Student Athlete of the Week here today is senior Braxton Kuntz from Ball State Men's Golf, playing in Ball State's number 2 lineup spot. Kuntz was the most dominant player for the Cardinals at the Lake Jovita Golf and Country Club, winning all 3 of his matches without ever playing the final 2 holes of any match. What a performance for Braxton Kuntz, our Pride Mark Student Athlete of the Week. First half continues next on the Cards Gamebridge Radio Network from Learfield. Back inside Savage Arena, Ball State 16, Toledo 10, 11:45 to go here in the first half. Ball State possession working it right to left. Jeremiah Hernandez, who just checked in, races toward the cup and misses the left-handed scoop, but he's fouled. And Ball State's headed to the free throw line as Hernandez trying to help Ball State improve on this 2-for-2 start at the stripe.
So interesting. Todd Kowalczyk has put Sam Lewis back in the game with those 2 fouls. If you're the Cardinals, go right at him. Remember, as Hernandez makes the first free throw, they switch picks 1 through 5. Put him in the pick and roll, go right at him.
And here's Hernandez, second free throw, up and all twine. Ball State with an 8-point lead, 18-10, with 11:40 to go here in the first half. Cardinals lead the Rockets here from Savage Arena. Cardinals go back on defense. Hernandez picks up Lewis. Straight away, Lewis bouncing around and drops a pass out of the baseline right for Simmons. Works against Sparks, pushes it right. Sparks tries for the rebound. It slips off his hands, and a rebound thrown out to Hernandez. Ball State has it, seeking a double-digit lead early on here from Savage Arena. Corner left, it's Watts. For Hill, bounces it. Sparks, lefty touch, and it rolls down. Peyton Sparks gives Ball State a 20-10 lead with 11 to go first half.
Textbook. Great spacing. No one near Peyton Sparks. He catches it at the restricted arc, one-on-one. Count it.
And the Cardinals lead it by 10 here from Savage Arena. Hubbard, free throw line right, pulls up, banks it home. You mentioned his struggles this year, but when he gets going, he can score quickly.
I mean, he's capable. That's what's just so bizarre. He's now 3 of his last 34, Mick. That's insane.
Sparks for Ball State, hands it off to Hill. Hill dancing around the free throw line left. Jumper quickly, rolls around and in. Fat Hill with an early 6 points, and Ball State 22, Toledo 12. 10-20 first half.
They switch the picks. You got Simmons on Hill. He can't guard him.
And Adams now trying to go against Jones. Adams receives a screen. Jones at the free throw line right. Bowley's his way in. Sparks picks him up. Rejects the shot slightly. Adams recollects and puts it in. Lots of contact. Either letting them play today.
Yeah, they are. Adams got lucky there. Easily could have been a turnover. And the sole reason why he came off the bench, Todd Kowalczyk said he's been a ball stopper.
It's Hernandez for Ball State up 22-14. Inside 10 to go first half. Here goes Hill. Attacks the rim. Lefty scoop home. And Fat Hill is all over the scoreboard with 8 early points. 24-14. Cards lead.
My goodness. And they are slicing the D up.
9 for 15. Ball State shooting 60% as Wilson steps back. From the right wing, misses short rebound all the way out. Long to Sam Lewis. Lewis in between the leg dribble. Fights toward the free throw line. Drives baseline and draws a foul.
Oh, that very easily could have been Lewis's third. Ethan Britton-Watts tried to take a charge. Mick, the key statistic, it just jumps out you right now. 5 offensive rebounds for the Rockets. They haven't been able to capitalize, only 2 second chance points, but you can't keep playing with fire. You're getting the stops. You've got a defensive rebound.
Lewis hits the first free throw. They actually gave that foul to Hill. So Watts fell down, but Hill was charged, it sounds like, with the reach-in.
Speaking of Hill, it is clear on the offensive end, the strategy, they are sitting on Jamari's right hand. They do not want him to go right.
And now this one, missed shot from Lewis, rolls around and out. Last touch by Adams. The crowd doesn't like it. And Ball State gets possession, leading 24-15. 9:20 remains here in the first half. Coach Lewis points with his right index finger, directs the offense as Hernandez receives a screen from Jones. Hernandez at the free throw line left, picks up his dribble, kicks out Gorosito. Gorosito the lob, baseline left to Sparks. 4 early points, he's double teamed out to Gorosito, 8 to shoot. Hill controls, drives baseline left, finger roll scoops, he airballs it, and a rebound for Simmons of Toledo. Toledo pushing left to right, down 9. Hubbard stops the right wing. Hubbard, the transfer from Western Michigan, 14 points per game last year. This year, just 8. Lewis at the top of the key for Toledo. No look pass to Adams. This one swirls off a couple of hands and out of the lap of Ball State last. Out of bounds baseline right. It is Toledo basketball.
Well, we talk about Toledo's defense. In 2 consecutive games, they gave up 40 to Cam Kraft. and 38 to Jalen Terry at Eastern Michigan. They have struggled mightily on the defensive end, particularly these last 2 games.
Ball State goes back to man-to-man defense. Hernandez picks up Adams to the baseline right. It's on the left wing to Sam Lewis. Lewis between the legs has 3 to shoot. Deep left wing three-point ball, shoots it and hits it. Great defense, better offense from Sam Lewis, who cuts it to a 6-point game, 24-18, 8:20 first half.
That's why it'd be so nice to attack him, try to get him out of here with that 3rd foul.
Gorosito controls for Ball State. Hubbard picks him up on the left wing. Now it's Sparks. Sparks holds the ball above his head, now drives on Simmons, and it's an offensive foul. Simmons took a seat outside the arc, and Sparks whistled for his first personal foul. And now Zane Dowdy up off the bench, and he is checking in for Sparks.
Yeah, you've got the 8-minute media time coming up at the next dead ball, so buy Peyton a little extra rest.
I don't see Ben Hendricks on the Ball State bench, do you?
That's a good point.
There's an empty seat. And Ben Hendricks is not currently on the bench. It is Zane Dowdy in for Sparks. Lewis, 5-foot jumper, step back, hits it, and Lewis heating up, and that's why he's playing with 2 fouls early on.
Yep. And I see the Ball State trainer on the bench, so Ben must be some type of sickness or illness where he just went back to the locker room.
Yeah, Ben's not anywhere to be seen right now. Jess Kinder, the athletic trainer, like you said, right behind Ball State's bench. Cardinals' lead was once 10. It's down to 4. 10 to shoot for Hernandez. Kicks it Joey Hart. Step in right wing three-point ball. Partially blocked by Ford. Dowdy's fighting for the rebound. It's off his hands last. Baseline left. It is Toledo possession. 24-20. Ball State's lead shrinks to 4 with 7:19 to go in the first half. Check out Gill Brothers Furniture and Mattress to make your house a home. Proud sponsor of Ball State basketball. 2 convenient locations in Muncie and Anderson. See us online at gilbros.com. Cards lead it by 4 on the Gamebridge Radio Network for Learfield. Whenever the game takes you on the road, we're there. Check into the courtyard at Horizon Convention Center. You'll find everything you need to transform your visit into a relaxing getaway. Book online today at Marriott.com. Ball State 24, Toledo 20, 7:17 to go here in the first half. He's the point guard, David Eha, Mick Chitrer on hand, and Matt Tuttle working with us through our technical difficulties back in our studios. Thank you, Matt, and Sean Mattingly helping us through all these issues. As Wilson misses the scoop on the right side baseline, and Ball State's Pearson grabs the rebound. Cardinals have possession right to left. 7 minutes to go first half with a 4-point lead. Zane Dowdy stays in the game, gives it off to Fat Hill. Hill dances around, kicks it Watts from the right wing. 10 to shoot, down to Dowdy, backing down Adams. Dowdy attacks the rim, misses the lefty scoop. It lands in the lap of Lewis. Here goes Toledo, 4 on 3. Lewis has 8 points already, and he rolls one home for his 10th point. Lewis is starting to change this game, and Toledo's gone on an 8-0 run the last 3 minutes and 10 seconds. And during that span, Ball State's 0 for 4 from the field. Watts from the left wing. You mentioned it, you can't rely on 60% shooting. Got to get offensive and defensive rebounds. Toledo's winning that battle right now. Hill from the free throw line left. Out to Dowdy, left wing. Watts now has it straight away. Curls left wing, 6 to shoot. Lets one loose, and Watts drains the three. 27-22. Ball State's in front by 5 with 6 to go first half.
Again, they're switching bigs on small. That time, Simmons, he's not going to guard Ethan Britton Watts at the three-point line. Bam, right in his face.
Hubbard gives off. Lewis misses left wing on the three-point try. Pearson tracks down the defensive rebound for Ball State. And now Joey Hart has it in the corner left. He steps out of bounds, and it is a turnover, number 4 on the Cards.
I mean, it's a low turnover game, right? We talked about it, only 4 for the Cards, 2 for the Rockets. That's one of those unforced, right? Your foot is on the sideline, wide open in space. And good news, Ben Hendricks, Mick, I see back on the bench, looks to be fine, up cheering with his teammates. Peyton Sparks back in the game for Zane Dowdy.
Ball State back on defense, one-on-one with Wilson at the top of the key. Wilson and Simmons go back and forth. Simmons looking for a baseline cut to Lewis, but Hill makes sure he doesn't get the ball. Adams now to the baseline right. Adams steps back, three-point ball in the corner left, misses. Rebound Pearson. Ball State right to left in transition. Hill receives a screen from Sparks, attacks the rim, right-handed scoop, pops off. Rebound Pearson, but it's off his hands. Adams kicks it out of bounds. Baseline left, it is Ball State basketball, leading 27-22 with 5:15 first half.
Jamari shakes his head. I mean, that's 2 point blank that he normally would make that have rolled out. He's got 8 points on 4 of 9 shooting, but a little frustrated. Lewis going to check out. Ford back in. Remember, he hurt that ankle. Looks like he's okay. He's back in the game.
It's Ethan Britton Watts. Heaves one to Mickey Pearson Jr. Pearson, left corner to Joey Hart. Cardinals have won 3 straight, looking for 4. Toledo's lost back-to-back MAC games. Baseline left. Peyton Sparks breaks free, splits a double team, and lays one up and in. Ball State back in front 7, 29-22 with under 5 to go first half.
Great pass by Fat, his second assist.
Adams now has it for Toledo. Hart picks him up. And out to Sonny Wilson from the left wing. High arcing pass to Adams in the baseline right. Backs down Joey Hart, who holds his ground. Pearson helps with the double team. Adams tries to get out of it. There's a third player, Sparks. And Adams tries to go up anyway, misses it long. Rebounds Sparks, his 5th of the first half. And Fat Hill controls it with an in-between-the-leg dribble against Lorenzen. Step up, free throw line. Airballs it short, but draws a foul. Lorenzen popped him on the arm and hit him in the face, too. Hill's going to the free throw line left for 2 shots.
So 2 things. One, the definition of a ball stopper is exactly what you saw from Isaiah Adams there. No passing whatsoever. The entire offense came to a fault as he went 3-on-1. Cardinals get the turnover at the other end. Andre Lorenzen, 6'7". There's no way he can guard Fat Hill in the open court. He had no choice there but to foul.
Hill's first free throw up and in. Ball State's 5 of 5 from the stripe and takes a 30-22 lead with 4:26. This game could be one of mismatches because of foul trouble. If Lewis doesn't stay in, you're looking at a completely different dynamic.
Again, it's mismatches also because of the switching. At any point in time, you can get a mismatch if you put a big in the pick and roll with a little.
And Hill connects on the second free throw as well.
Mick, how about this? Eastern over Miami at the half, 35-23.
Say that again?
Eastern Michigan leading Miami at the half by 12.
Wow, Eastern Michigan's big win last time out after losing to Ball State in that overtime game. Lorenzen hop step to the lane, and there is a whistle. One ref called foul, another called jump ball, and they say it is a jump ball that Ball State forces, and it is Cardinals possession, leading 31 to 22 with 4:08 to go in the first half.
Boy, just great job defensively there. They've held Toledo to 22 points, and we've only got 4 minutes to go in the half.
Which is hard to do. 78 points per game for Toledo, top 4 in the Mid-American Conference. They're 68th in the country in points per game offense. It's been a masterclass defensively for the Cards so far. Sparks has the ball hit out of his hands, and it trickles out of bounds on the seats near side left, and that draws us to the under 4 minute timeout. 3 minutes, 54 seconds to go first half, 31 to 22. Ball State leads Toledo on the road. Check out GameBridge. Winning demands consistency. Find a better way to grow your money at GameBridge.io. That's GameBridge.io. Cards, basketball, and lead on the GameBridge Radio Network from Learfield. At Mancino's Pizza and Grinders, every dish is created to order using only the freshest, finest ingredients. Visit Mancino's in Muncie, Indiana at 4116 West Bethel Avenue and stop by Mancino's Sweet Shop right next door. Ball State 31, Toledo 22. 3 minutes and 54 seconds to go here in the first half from Savage Arena. This place has been loud, and this is always one of the best attended places in all of mid-major basketball. They've shown out today, but Ball State's been able to silence the crowd early on.
Yeah, they really have, man. Haven't been able to get into it. Not much momentum from the Rockets. Credit Ethan Britton Watts. He's held their leading scorer, Sonny Wilson, to no points, 0 of 3 from the field.
Ball State basketball up 9, racing right to left. Hill drops it off for Sparks, who loses control. Then it's picked off by Hubbard. Left to right goes Toledo. It's 4-on-4. A dish to Adams. Baseline right, up and in. Misses short. Draws a foul. That is Ball State's 5th team foul. This one is on Watts.
I'm telling you, Mick, turnovers and offensive rebounds. When you give Toledo an opportunity in transition or second chance, that's when they're going to be effective. Make them beat you in the half court. I know it's only 5 turnovers, but the live ball ones, they will take advantage.
Adams at the free throw line right for the Rockets. First one rolls around and out. Adams is an 85% free throw shooter, 48 of 57 this year. And his last 2 games, scoring 16 points per game on 10 of 22 from the field. In this one today, 5 points on 2 of 6. And he misses both free throws. Sparks yanks down his 6th first half rebound. And he's already 4 points, 4 rebounds away from a double-double, which would be his 7th of the season. Ball State 31-22 lead on Toledo. 3.5 to go first half. Cardinals have possession with Pearson at the top of the key. Gorosito whistles a pass. Watts, free throw line. He thought he was wide open. He turns around. There's nobody there, so he takes the shot and buries it. Cards up 11.
Yeah, it was Javen Simmons, a 5-man, nowhere close to being able to guard Ethan Britton Watts.
I think Watts was shocked that he was wide
Yeah.
open. Cardinals have their largest lead here in the first half. They've led the entire game as well.
Oh no, Hill's down.
Hill's grabbing his legs as a left corner three from Hubbard misses it long. Ball bounces around. Simmons tips it up and misses. Grabs the miss again. Heaves it up. Rolls around and out. Everybody kind of stopped for Fat Hill. And now Lewis with a rebound. Hill falls down. And then Hubbard. Nope, that's Adams trips on Hill. And now plays finally stopped as Coach Lewis and Jess Kinder run over to Hill to make sure he's okay. But Hill was just in a lot of pain trying to hold himself up and then go defend. And now he's limping off the floor, not putting a lot of pressure on his right leg.
My goodness.
So now IU Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine injury timeout. IU Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, the official Ball State Athletics medicine provider. They have walk-in appointments welcome, but Fat Hill is the main concern. He's going back to the locker room early for Ball State. Cardinals up 11. Left wing, it's Sonny Wilson. Wilson working against Sparks. Wilson throws one up, teardrop, swish. So how does Ball State respond to Fat Hill going to the locker room?
Well, big minutes from Jeremiah Hernandez in his place. And Mick, remember at Buffalo, Fat left, didn't look good. Let's hope it's the same scenario where he's able to come back and be all right.
It was right around this time in that game, right? Before half, and he came out and started the second half. Sparks turns on Simmons, lays one up short. Rebound off the miss goes to Adams. Here goes Toledo. It's Lewis who barrels into the lane. Watts holds his ground, and it's an offensive foul on Watts at the free throw line right. Coach Lewis is saying that should have been Lewis's third foul. And Lewis is smiling and then throws his right hand and starts laughing, but that is Ball State's sixth team foul with 2:01 to go here in the first half. 33-24, Cardinals in front. Well, here's good news. Hendricks is about to check in for Ball State. Sparks out. It's an odd game so far, isn't it? 9-point Ball State lead. Adams flicks it for Lewis, bounces once, turns around, 5 feet out, swishes home. 12 points for Lewis to lead all scorers, and Toledo's within 7, 33-26 with 1:50 first half. Watts off a screen from Hendricks. Back out, Gorosito fading away. Right wing three, leaves it short. Hendricks, the offensive rebound, kicks it. Pearson drives between two, heaves it off the window, misses left, rebound Simmons. And Toledo forces its way left to right. Into the corner left, Hubbard dishes for Adams. Hernandez tips it free, and then Wilson finds it for Toledo. Hand off to Hubbard, it's tapped around. Wilson controls, flips one up, swish home again. Wilson cutting through the defense and has 4 points, and it's back to a 5-point game.
Yeah, a little 6-0 run right now by the Rockets in the last 2 minutes. Cards desperately need a hoop here.
Last time Ball State gave up a Toledo run, it was a Watts three that gave Ball State a jolt and pushed it back to double digits. See if they get another one here. Gorosito, top of the key with under a minute to go. First half, Cards up 5. Gorosito from the right wing, drives on Hubbard, step back Jay, 5 feet out, swish it home in front of Toledo's bench. Gorosito with 8 early points gives Ball State a 35-28 lead with 38 seconds first half.
Man, is Wansey playing with some confidence right now.
Had a season high 24 last time out with his family in town and has 8 here in the first half on 3 of 5 shooting. Sam Lewis works on Hernandez, and Hernandez fouls him off the pass to Hubbard. It's a 1-and-1 now for Lewis.
Man, Lewis has been a difference maker. 12 points, 5 of 7 shooting. He's done it all in just 14 minutes, Mick. I'll tell you, in this day and age, right, it is going to be fascinating. Can Toledo hang on to Sam Lewis? Because you know there is a bunch of Power 4 schools that are going to be coming after him.
Going to be teams waiting for him to enter the portal.
Oh,
as the
my.
free throw miss, offensive rebound to Simmons, and it is out to the right wing with Wilson. So Toledo has a chance for the last possession, basically. There's 2 seconds separating shot and game clock. 12 seconds to go here in the first half. Wilson now backs up toward midcourt. Cards up 7. 7 to play in the first half. 3 to shoot. Adams running out of time, throws it for Simmons, and that is a shot clock violation. 3 seconds of the timer, so Ball State will actually get one more chance.
And Wansi Gorosito holding his left ankle, hobbling up and down.
And so Ball State calls a timeout. Gorosito limping over to the bench. So we've seen Hendricks leave the bench. Hill's now in the locker room. Gorosito's hobbling. And Ball State still commands a 35-28 lead here in the first half. And level up your living with University Village. They have you covered with spacious 2, 3, and 4 bedroom furnished or unfurnished floor plans. Available for 2025 in the fall. Text CHIRP to 51378. That is 51378 for University Village. 51378. Text that with using CHIRP.
Well, Mick, it's been a pretty good game for the Cardinals first half. Shooting 50%, 30 of 26, holding Toledo to 40% shooting. The one area that's been suspect has just been the offensive rebounding. Toledo with 8, getting extra possessions. Cardinals really doing a good job at half court. Got to finish with rebounds. My guess here is you get the ball in the hands of Ethan Britton Watts going the other way.
Half court, another midcourt heave toward Peyton Sparks, stolen by Hubbard, so he throws it up at midcourt at the buzzer and misses it long. And that'll send us to halftime. Ball State holds a lead 35-28 here from Savage Arena, 1 half in the books. Ball State looking for 4 consecutive wins. The Rockets have lost back-to-back games, and we will see how the Cardinals react. Fat Hill has returned to the court and is walking with the team to the locker room by himself. It's a good sign for the Cards. We'll see if he comes out in the second half. Revitalized Med Spa halftime shows next to the Gamebridge Radio Network from Learfield. Welcome into the Revitalized Med Spa halftime show. Ball State with a lead here in Toledo, Ohio, 35-28. Cardinals advantage over the Rockets. Check out revitalize-med-spa.com and ask for the Ball State discount. It's $25 off. Check out revitalize-med-spa.com. Let's check our first half stats, brought to you in part by MITS, Muncie Indiana Transit System. No car, no problem. MITS is reliable, safe, and free for students and veterans. Download that MITS bus app and ride with MITS today.
All right, Mick, for the Cardinals, 13 of 26 from the field, 50%. Very efficient, 3 of 8 from deep, 37%. Wansi Gorosito, 2 for 4. Perfect 6 of 6 at the foul line. For Toledo, they were 12 of 30, 40%, just 2 of 10 from deep. Keep in mind, they come into today's game in three-point shooting, averaging only 6 makes a game, 2 of 10 in the first half. They were 2 of 6 from the free throw line. This is a team that shoots it at 77% in conference play. Rebounding, Cards leading in that category, 18-16. However, 8 offensive rebounds for Toledo to 5 for the Cardinals. Cardinals with 5 assists and 6 turnovers. Meanwhile, the Rockets 4 assists, 4 turnovers. Rockets had 2 steals, 2 blocks. Cardinals with 3 steals, 2 by Jamari Hill, and no blocks. Individually, Fat leads everybody on the Cardinals, 10 points on 4 of 9 shooting, 2 rebounds, 2 assists. He left with an injury, went off very gingerly, as Mick said, was walking with his teammates back to the locker room, looked like a good sign. Hopefully he'll be back in the second half. Ethan Britton Watts with 7 points, perfect 2 of 2 from the field. Mickey Pearson, got to get Mickey going, 2 points on 1 of 3 shooting. Peyton Sparks, 6 points. Wansi Gorosito, 8 points. Hernandez, 2. Hart, Jones, Hendricks, Dowdy all played but did not score. Sam Lewis picked up 2 early fouls in the first 4 minutes. Played 15 minutes anyhow. Rolling the dice was Todd Kowalczyk, and it paid off. Lewis with 12 points leads everybody on 5 of 7 shooting. After that, Javen Simmons, 5. Their leading scorer, Sonny Wilson, averages 15, only 4 in the first half to go with 1 assist. After that, Seth Hubbard, 2 points. Owinga, Lorenzen, Burchick did not score. Isaiah Adams came off the bench today, 5 points on 2 of 6 shooting. Cards lead by 7 at the half, 35-28.
That is our check of stats presented by MITS. Check them out. Muncie Indiana Transit System. No car, no problem. Ride with MITS. 35-28. Cards lead here on the road. Ball State in front on the Gamebridge Radio Network from Learfield. Back inside Savage Arena, Ball State with a 35-28-point lead here at the break. Presented by Revitalized Med Spa halftime. We're going to go ahead and play our pregame interview that we have with Coach Lewis since we had technical difficulties and couldn't play it. Want you to hear from Coach Lewis here before this one. We're back inside the Greg Goodwood countdown to tip-off. Ball State's on the road taking on the Toledo Rockets. Coach Lewis joining us here before Ball State and Toledo. Coach, appreciate your time and glad the trip went well getting here.
No, it's pretty smooth. As far as the league goes, this is one of the easier ones.
It is. Coach, looking at last game before we get to Toledo, we talked about it after the game. You said, hey, we're just glad that we got the win. We got the job done. You watched the game back on tape. How did you see everything unfold from that vantage point?
Well, it's just like what I thought, live. I thought the first 20 minutes, our first half, was probably as completed 20 minutes as we had played. Butler goes down for an injury. It completely changes how they attack. It really made things difficult on our 5 men to be able to defend their guards on the perimeter. They made a run. We didn't respond well. But you find a way to win a game in February. You take it and move on.
Looking at this Toledo team, Coach, we've seen them once already. What'd you learn from that first game that could be helpful for today's game?
Well, they're talented, man. They got some real talent. So very impressive. Obviously, seeing them up. I thought that, and then seeing them live, and I thought they played one of their better games against us. But they're very good and very efficient on the offensive end. Like they from their game with us on, their offense has been superb.
Those are a few comments from head coach Michael Lewis. We had pregame that we couldn't play due to some technical difficulties before we got started here. Ball State 35, Toledo 28 on the Cardinals Gamebridge Radio Network from Learfield. (35-28), Ball State leads Toledo here at halftime of the Revitalized Med Spa halftime show. We'll take one more break, come back, and it is Ball State basketball in the second half on the Gamebridge Radio Network for Learfield. Start of the second half here from Toledo, Ohio. Ball State and Toledo in a tussle. And Tuesday night action, 35-28. Ball State leads as Ford drives to the baseline left for Toledo. Kick to the corner with Lewis. Back to Ford, right wing three, splashes it down in the face of Ball State's Sparks, 35-31 with 30 seconds into the second half.
Well, good news, Fat Hill back in the lineup, looks healthy. He's guarding Sam Lewis on the defensive end.
Here goes Hill racing down to the baseline right, throws it off of Simmons, and it is staying Ball State basketball. But you're worried about the fast-paced nature of Hill's style of play. That was a good test of that, and he looks like he's okay.
Yeah, 100%.
So Ball State has a 4-point lead on the basketball on the baseline right. Watts set to throw it in. Sparks collects it with the left hand and goes to work against Simmons. Commands a double team. Sparks heaves it out to Hill, who whips it past to Pearson in the corner right. Jumps, nearly travels with it. Lands it to Watts, who misses a three in the right wing. And now it's Wilson who controls for Toledo. Pushing it right to left. Blows by Gorosito. High off the glass. Drops it up and in. It's a 5-0 run for the Rockets out of the halftime break, and it's 35-33. Ball State's leads down to 2 with 18:50 to go in the second half. Cardinals have led the entire game. They led by as many as 11, 33-22, but it is currently an 11-2 run for Toledo. Over the last 4:20, Pearson misses the runner on the baseline right, rebound to the freshman Owinga out of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Toledo pushes the pace right to left. Wilson flips it up and swishes it home. It's all tied at 35. This is the first tie of the ball game.
Card's got to work on transition defense. You can tell right away coming out of halftime, Toledo wants to run. That's 3 consecutive possessions. They've got baskets in transition.
Hill in the right wing throws it for Sparks. It's a turnover. Lewis steals it up to Wilson right to left for the Rockets. Puts it up at the left, misses it. Rebound to Simmons, flips it to Wilson, who heaves one off the window, and Toledo has its first lead of the game, 37-35. 2 minutes into the second half, it is an explosion. A 15-2 run over the last 5:20 for Toledo. Sparks on the baseline right, throws it up and draws a foul. So Sparks can stop the bleeding a little bit. It's a 9-0 run the last 3 minutes for Toledo. And that was hot out of the gates, E.
Yeah, I mean, Ford drilled to 3, but the last 3 baskets were all at the rim. Rockets just taking off. It's Sonny Wilson. Nobody's stopping the basketball. He's getting all the way to the rim.
So Sparks the free throw line right. A team in Ball State that's 4th in the country in free throw attempts per game and makes per game. Sparks nails it, and the Cards are a perfect 7 of 7 at the stripe. Climb back within 1, 37-36, 17:46 second half.
All right, make one here, set your defense, see if you can't string together 2 or 3 consecutive stops.
Sparks bends the knees, flicks the left wrist, misses well short, rebound. Pulled in by Bryce Ford for the Rockets. A Rockets team that's trying to snap back-to-back losses. The Cards have won 3 games in a row, 2 of those in MAC play. Owinga hands it off to Lewis, who backs up near the midcourt logo. Lewis between the leg dribble, right wing, pulls up, 3-point ball, rolls around and out. Owinga the offensive rebound. Hop step to the lane through 2 defenders, misses short, rebound Pearson. And Ball State's veteran trots into the front court and flips it to Hill. Hill had 10 first half points. Toledo Ball State scores with 4 of 9 shooting. Hill at the free throw line right, dribbles between the legs against Simmons, puts him in a blender, step back miss. Ball rolls off Sparks and picked up by Lewis. Toledo right to left to Wilson, screaming toward the lane, soft touch, swish home.
You
and Lewis
have to stop the basketball.
Yeah.
Sonny Wilson is taking it coast to coast and getting all the way to the rim.
And he is taking over. He has 12 points and 6 of 10 shooting. You mentioned early in the game about the first 12 minutes Wilson had scored. 39-36, Rockets ahead, 16-38 second half. Gorosito curls off a screen. Gives it to Watts, right wing 3, air balls it left and long, and it is out of bounds baseline right, effectively a turnover, and it's Toledo basketball. So Toledo basketball, they're working right to left on a 17-3 run in the last 6 minutes and 47 seconds. You have to think at some point Ball State's going to get a stop and a score, right?
You would think, Mick.
That's what happened with Ball State in the first half. They went on these runs. Toledo was able to weather the storm and now take a lead. And You've said it before, all it takes is one stop and a score, and you're feeling completely different about your situation. Wilson slides to Ford on the right wing. Lewis to the top. Free throw line extended. Throws one up, misses outright. Hill secures for Ball State. Now Watts is slowed back to get on offense. Hernandez throws it for Hendricks, who's wide open on the baseline right, puts it up with the right hand, and it's a one-point game, 39-38, 4 minutes in second half.
Great drive of running the floor that time by Ben. Terrific find by Jeremiah.
1 point ball game here from Toledo, Ohio. Ball State led by 11 in the first half. Toledo's taking a lead here early in the second. Lewis slides a pass baseline left to Simmons. Simmons backing down Hendricks slowly. The lefty turns, uses the right hand, hook shot, drops in, and Toledo's up 41-38, 15:30 second half. We have a good one brewing here from Savage Arena, Toledo, Ohio. David Eha, Mick Tidra with you. Matt Tuttle's producing. Fat Hill curls off screen, runs baseline right, throws it up, misses long, falls to the floor, draws a foul. Hill's down again on his backside. 41-38. Toledo leads with 15:18 to go. Let's pause 10 seconds for station ID on the Cards Game Bridge Radio Network from Learfield. Cards trail by 3. Check out GameBridge, GameBridge.io to grow your money and manage it like never before. That's GameBridge.io. GameBridge, proud sponsor of Ball State. Cards down 3. Hill's free throw shooting is next in the GameBridge Radio Network from Learfield. Our Pride Mark Student Athlete of the Week is Braxton Kuntz from Ball State Men's Golf. Congratulations, Braxton. You are the Pride Mark Student Athlete of the Week. Excellence in the highest standard of quality are the focus of Pride Mark. Supporters of Ball State and the Muncie community.
So, Mick, it's interesting. I was looking before that timeout. Michael Lewis was talking to the officials to go look at the monitor. Felt like one of the Cardinals got hit up around the neck or face area. I did see the officials go over, check things out at the timeout. Just went over to Michael Lewis and said, hey, nothing there.
Ball State trails 41-38, 15-18 to go in the second half, and Fat Hill misses the first free throw to our right. Cardinals had started the game 7 for 7 at the free throw line, and they have now missed their last 2. Hill's second free throw up and all twined. Cards now down by 2. Rockets work it from right to left, a 2-point lead here in the second half. Thanks for joining us. David Eha, Mick Tidra with you. Matt Tuttle's producing here today. Lewis, top of the key, works with a team best 12 points tied with Wilson. Wilson now has it from the left wing against Hendricks. Hill now picks him up. 10 to shoot. Adams fakes a shot from the right wing, drives. Baseline left, scoop and score. Adams makes it a 4-point Toledo lead, 43-39. 14:50 to go in the game. It's officially the largest lead for Toledo after Ball State had the 11-point lead in the first half. Both teams have had these long runs. Can Ball State now put one back in their favor? Pearson to Watts at the top of the key. Watts helps spark Ball State with a big three. Falls to the floor, throws it to Hendricks, who throws it down with two hands.
How about that pass from his back? A bounce pass in traffic to a wide open Ben Hendricks.
That is elite and different types of awareness there. To be able to throw it when you're falling down to your back. 43-41, Cards down 2, approaching 14 to go. Lewis from the right wing in front of his own bench, far side left. Dishes to Adams, one-on-one with Pearson, and it's a foul on Pearson. Pearson's contesting, but the officials say a push.
I mean, nobody really in foul trouble. Britton Watts with 2, Hendricks with 2, Sam Lewis for the Rockets with 2.
Inbounds pass to Adams, drives baseline left, and now Watts charged with an armbar foul on Adams.
Well, as soon as I said that, Ethan picks up his third.
So each team not really in foul trouble, though, as a unit. 2 fouls each here in the second half. 6 minutes in. Inbounds pass to Adams. Slips through 2 defenders. A right-handed scoop and in. 45-41. Toledo's back in front, 4 points. Under 14 to go here in the second half. Hill hands it off to Watts. Watts surveys. Hendricks calls for it and receives it. Free throw line right. Hand off to Hill. Perceives a screen. 3-point ball straight away. Bangs it home. Fat Hill step in 3 makes it a 1-point game. 45-44. 13:30 second half. Man-to-man defense for the Cards as Wilson hands it for Lewis. Lewis back to Hubbard. Hubbard driving at the free throw line left against Hendricks. Hubbard throws one up off balance, misses short. Watts the defensive rebound for Ball State. Cardinals can take the lead back. Pearson rises, left wing 3-point ball, rolls off short. Hendricks fights with it from Breachik, and it's a rebound for Lewis. And Toledo trots from right to left with a 1-point lead. Lewis stepping back and around, flips it to Wilson. Wilson wants the screen, receives it. Wilson dribbling, throws it. Breachik on the baseline left, loses control, but it's last touched by Watts out of bounds. It stays Toledo possession. Check out Gill Brothers Furniture and Mattress to make your house a home. Proud sponsor of Ball State basketball. Gill Brothers makes great living affordable. 2 convenient locations in Muncie and Anderson. See us online at gilbros.com. Set to throw it in for the baseline left is Lewis. Chucks it to Adams. Adams backing down Watts. A flip to Lewis with 8 to shoot. Toledo leads by 1. Inside 13 minutes to go. Lewis curls, spins away from Watts, misses the runner. Hendricks secures the Ball State defensive rebound. Cards trail 45-44 with the basketball. Hill has it left wing, dances around, kick to Jones, flip to Watts, straight away back to Hill. Hill with a jab step, a game best 14 points, dishes to Mason Jones, runs baseline right, stopped by Adams. 7 to shoot. Jones throws it for Hendricks, and it's way past him. Wilson intercepts. Wilson slows it down, then kicks to Adams, down to the baseline left. It is a Breachik shot, and he draws a foul. Hernandez raced in and hit him on the arm as he made the shot. 47-44, Toledo's lead expands to 3 with 12:04 here to go in the second half.
All right, Mick, we'll be alert here. Free throw rebound. Breachik just 10 of 25 on the season at the free throw line, 40%.
And Breachik steps to the line to our left. The sophomore from Croatia averages 2.5 points per game, and he banks in the free throw. Well, if you're 10 of 25, I guess just throw it off the window and see what happens. Toledo's got a 4-point lead, 48-44. We've hit 12 minutes to go in the game here from Savage Arena in Toledo, Ohio. Jones holds the ball above his head and then gives to Watts. Toledo with pesky man-to-man defense. Watts to Jones, right left wing 3, misses it right. And Lewis the defensive rebound for Toledo. Can make this with a 3-possession ball game. Lewis has it pop out of his hands. Adams throws it for Wilson. Wilson to Hubbard, off Hernandez, and then touches Hubbard into the seats of Toledo. It's Ball State basketball. 11:29 remains, 48-44. Toledo in front by 2 possessions. When the game takes you on the road with air, check into the courtyard at Muncie at Horizon Convention Center. You'll find everything you need to transform your visit into a relaxing getaway. Go ahead, book online at Marriott.com. Cards basketball next on the Gamebridge Radio Network from Learfield. Back at John F. Savage Arena, Ball State, Toledo in a close one on some Tuesday night action. Toledo 48, Ball State 44 with 11 and a half minutes to go here from Toledo, Ohio. He's the point guard, David Eham. Mick Tidra with you. Matt Tittle's back producing. It's a 2-possession game. Ball State has the basketball. How would you like to start seeing Ball State's offense operate here in half number 2?
Well, Peyton Sparks has gotten a nice break. He sat out since that 16-minute media timeout, as did Gorosito. Those two should be fresh. I'd try to give Peyton a touch and see if you can't work something off of that.
Ball State basketball working it from left to right, facing a 4-point deficit against the Toledo Rockets, who have lost back-to-back games entering tonight. Hill's double teamed at midcourt, throws it away. Adams from right to left, racing to the front court. Hill blocks the shot and also fouls Adams at the rim left. Adams going to the free throw line for 2 shots, where he is an 85% free throw shooter.
So first time all night, Toledo goes with a 3-quarter court trap. Jamari Hill trapped right over half court. Turnover, the Cardinals' 9th. Paid dividends that time for Todd Kowalczyk.
Todd Kowalczyk takes a seat on the bench left side as Adams' first free throw rattles down. The Rockets have a 49-44 lead over the Cardinals with 11:14 to go in the game. Ball State had an 11-point advantage, 33-22, with 2.5 minutes to go in the first half. And since then, Toledo has run the gambit and taken the lead. Adams sinks the second free throw, and it's Toledo's largest lead at 50-44. 11:10 to go in the game. Ball State breaks the 3-quarters press this time. Hill heaves one to Sparks and a reset to Hernandez. Hernandez just 2 points in 14 minutes so far, both of those at the free throw line. Handoff to Hill at the free throw line right. He's got a team best 14. Kick to Jones, hop step to the lane, 7 to shoot, lefty scoop and score. Jones' first bucket off the bench. That was smooth.
It was smooth.
50-46, Ball State trails Toledo. 10:40 to go, second half. Adams works against Jones, throws his hands above his head and gives off to Lewis, who's tied with Wilson for the team high in points today with 12. Adams to Hubbard, free throw line left, 10 to shoot. Hubbard stops, pops, and rolls one down. 52-46, both teams trading points as we approach 10 to go in the game.
Toledo shooting 62% in the second half, 10 of 16.
After 40% in the first half, Ball State shot 50 in the first half and now 40 here in half number 2. Sparks throws it for Hernandez, falls off his hands, grabbed by Lewis, throws it to Simmons, and Simmons yanks one down for a two-handed flush.
And it is now 14-2, points off turnovers.
An 8-point lead for the Rockets, their largest today, and Coach Lewis uses a timeout with 9 minutes and 51 seconds to go in the second half. 54-46, Toledo is in front. Fort Ray Brewing, open in Yorktown, Indiana. Our family-friendly restaurant provides an exceptional experience for dine-in and carry-out. Check out our menu at 4dayray.com. That's 4-Day Ray Brewing, brewed for community. You've been there, right? We've talked about this. You've been there.
So good.
Anything else that you need to check out on the menu? You done the salmon yet?
I have not.
You've not? Okay.
Definitely give that a shot.
I keep peppering you and Scott about the salmon because it's my favorite there.
Love it.
Until you get it, that's probably what I'll bring up every time we talk about 4-Day Ray. We'll take the media timeout. Cards down, 54-46 in the Gamebridge Radio Network from Learfield. Hey fans, check out A1 Graphics, the van printing partner of Ball State Athletics. That's a-1graphics.com, a-1graphics.com. Toledo 54, Ball State 46. Inside 10 minutes to go. Ball State has possession from left to right in John F. Savage Arena. Jones holds the ball high above his head, handoff to Fat Hill, slides a pass for Sparks, and Adams taps it out of bounds, baseline right, slowly rolls out of bounds. It stays Ball State's possession. Cards down 8. This is the largest Toledo lead so far tonight after Ball State had an 11-point lead in the first half. Hill chucks one up toward Jones, who secures, looks for Sparks with 7 to shoot. Jones, free throw line extended, drives, baseline right, 3 to shoot, picks up his dribble and travels with it. That is Ball State's 11th turnover, and Toledo's only turned it over 5 times.
Yeah, and that's just way too many against a team that barely turns people over. Second fewest turnovers in the MAC, only behind the Cardinals. They are just not guarding Mason Jones on the perimeter.
54-46, Rockets ahead, 9:20 to go here in the second half. Lewis fakes a right wing 3, kick to Adams, step in straightaway 3-pointer, Karam's out. He'll the defensive rebound for Ball State, pushing the pace. Gorosito right wing, deep 3-point ball, splash. Gorosito's got 3, and it pulls Ball State within 5, 9 to go, second half.
Nice look ahead that time by Fat Hill. And man, Wansey can pull up. He makes more contested threes than anybody I've ever seen.
And he is doing it at the right times in this game, too. Had 2 early threes and now sets the table with 1 here. Cards down 5. Gorosito now picks the pocket of Ford. Gorosito racing left to right, coast to coast, misses but draws the foul. One of the cheerleaders thought about helping Gorosito up, and then Sparks and company raced in to say, no, we got it.
Well, doing it at both ends, right? We talked about Wansey, 3 of 5 from deep. That time just picked the pocket of Bryce Ford, goes coast to coast, chance to get a couple free throws.
Really cool that his family was in town from Argentina to watch him play, and he showed out last game with 24 points, a season best.
Boy, did he ever. He was 5 of 8 in that last game, 3 of 5 today.
And his first free throw is pure. 12 points for Gorosito today on 4 of 6 shooting. Like you said, 3 of those from 3. Cuts it to a 4-point game, 54-50, 8:43 remains.
I love Michael Lewis telling the story. So Wansey's parents didn't speak any English, so Wansey was translating. He's like, I'm not sure exactly what he was telling me.
He said it all sounded good, though.
Right. And very cool. And it's got to be so nice for Wansey being that far away from home to have your parents there for an entire week.
We were on a trip. I think it maybe was DeKalb, but it was, frigid. And Wansey said, it's over 100 degrees right now in Argentina. And we're all like, how you feel? He's like, well, cold, but we're good. Figured it out. Gorosito nearly picks the pocket of Lewis again after midcourt, and it rolls off his hands out of bounds. It is Toledo basketball, and now Gorosito's down, writhing in pain. He's grabbing his left leg. He was injured in the first half, didn't miss any time. He stayed on. And here in the second half, Jess Kinder, the athletic trainer, races out to make sure that Wansey Gorosito's okay. And now Coach Lewis is also at midcourt. This is an IU Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine injury timeout. Coach Lewis helps him to his feet. And Gorosito limps into the huddle. We'll take the timeout with them. 54-51. Toledo leads Ball State. 8 minutes and 28 seconds to go here in the second half on the Cards Gainbridge Radio Network from Learfield. For comprehensive coverage, check out SiriusXM. Then you get a free trial at SiriusXM.com/College Sports Radio 2025, with Channel 84 being the primary focus of the College Sports Radio channel. That's 84 for SiriusXM. Toledo 54, Ball State 51. 8:28 to go in the game. It's Toledo lead and basketball as Wilson climbs into the front court after the media timeout and flips it to Hubbard. They go back and forth. 7 to shoot for Toledo. Hubbard throws it. It's Owinga. Free throw line left. Forces in toward the baseline. Misses the shot. At the buzzer. Grabs it. Flips it. Scores it.
11th offensive rebound. Cards went zone first time in that possession. And couldn't secure the glass.
Well, Ball State's only been out-rebounded by 3, but its 6 offensive rebound differential is played a factor today. 5-point Rockets lead. Ball State possession. Jones to Hart. Corner left, driving baseline right, off to Sparks, who spins around, throws it with the left hand, and drops it in. What a play from Hart, and a great finish from Sparks.
No question. And look, Mick, here's where the differential is taking place between the turnovers and their rebounds. Toledo has 12 more field goal attempts.
Baseline left, Simmons cut off by Sparks. Lewis controls. He has 12. Typically averages 15.5 per game. Simmons driving baseline left against Sparks, pushes it way long. Jones the defensive rebound for Ball State. A 3 can tie this game up. We're approaching 7 minutes to go in the game. Hard back to Watts. Coach Lewis says move it. They do to Hill. Left wing driving baseline. Stopped. Sparks back to Hill, left wing. Sparks sets the screen. Hill gives it to Sparks, who drives baseline right. The ball falls off the hands of Sparks. Hits Owinga and out of bounds baseline right. Cards retained possession with 7 minutes to go here in the game.
Toledo is doing everything in their power to keep Jamari Hill from going right. They are sitting on his right hand, forcing him to go left.
56-53, 7 minutes to go. Toledo lead. Ball State has the basketball. Inbounding under the bucket right. Watts staring, looking around, finds Joey Hart in the corner right. 10 to shoot. Hart attacks the rim softly, lays one up with the right hand with an acrobatic move to the rim. It's a 1-point contest.
That might be the most athletic move Joey's made all year. You know he's capable.
That was impressive. 56-55. Inside 7 to go from Savage Arena. A nervous Toledo Rockets crowd as Simmons receives the bounce pass from Wilson. Attacks the lane, loses control. Ford picks it up. 10 to shoot, back to Simmons, fakes a shot from the free throw line. Dishes to Adams, bounces around and backs up and hits a fading away 7-footer for 2. 58-55, Rockets ahead by 3, 6:20 remains. You've seen so many lefties on the floor at once.
That's a great point, partner.
Ford, Simmons, and Adams. Hill pulls up, free throw line right, rolls around and out. Sparks tries for the rebound. It hits his hands last, out of bounds, baseline right. It is Toledo possession, leading by 3 with 6:10 to go.
Man, Rockets got a break there. That ball looked like it went off Simmons' hands.
Yeah, I'd like to see a replay.
Yeah.
They won't show one here, though. Wilson slowly walks into the front court. A composed right-handed dribble as Lewis races around, goes toward the left wing. Wilson throws it for Simmons. Sparks jumps in front of the pass and deflects it out far side of midcourt. It stays Toledo ball.
You know, it's interesting. Mason Jones getting a lot of minutes here. Mickey Pearson on the bench. I know Michael Lewis didn't like Mickey's D on Isaiah Adams, so Jones getting a lot of minutes here in the second half.
Jones is stuck with Adams in the corner left. It's a pass down baseline left. Hart deflects it, intended for Ford. Jones picks it up right there. Off to Hart. Ball State's down 3. Watts with it on the right wing. Off to Hill. 58-55. 5:40 remains here from Savage Arena. Hill receives a screen from Sparks. A flush to Sparks, who raises and hits it. It's 58-57. 1-point ball game. Wilson kicks Lewis. Dribbles around in between the legs. Step backs from the right wing. Fakes the 3. Gives off to Ford. Adams now to Wilson. Perimeter passing for the Rockets. Wilson attacks. High arcing shot. Misses. Taps it out toward Lewis, but he went the other way, and it's out of bounds into Toledo's bench. The Cardinals have a chance to take the lead back for the first time since 18.5 minutes to go in the game. They trail 58-57. 5:11 to go. The Cardinals contingent right behind the home bench, rather the away bench on the far side right, claps in support of the Ball State Cardinals. Watts pulls up straight away three-pointer, rattles out right, and a rebound for Ford. Would have given the Cardinals the lead, but instead Toledo has the ball. Lewis driving, 15 feet out, misses inside the right wing, and a rebound for Jones. Off to Watts, 2-on-2. Watts pulls up at the free throw line right and gives to Hill. Hill looks around, clears out, tells everybody to move away, and then Sparks sets the screen for Hill, who curls, drives, free throw line, then drives baseline and puts it up and in. Ball State's ahead 59-58 with 4.5 to go.
Jamari says, you're going to force me left? I'll go left all the way to the rack.
16 points for Jamari Fat Hill to lead all scorers tonight, and the Cardinals back in front. Adams off a screen. Jones draped all over him. Adams flips it for Simmons, who works into a double team. Jones steals it right away on the baseline left. Off to Hill with 4:07 and ticking. Cards have a lead in the basketball.
Mason Jones is paying Michael Lewis off right now.
Hill receives a screen from Sparks, stops the free throw line, heaves it for Sparks. It hits the rim and then bounces in the lap of Simmons. Toledo pushes the pace right to left. Simmons to Adams, attacks the lane, floats one up, hits it, and draws a foul on Jones. Adams ran the floor, they reward him, and Toledo takes a 60-59 lead with 3 minutes and 49 seconds. This one's coming down to the wire, folks, here from Toledo, Ohio. Thank you to Spencer DeVoe and DeVoe Chevrolet in Alexandria. For support of Ball State Athletics, visit DeVoeChevy.com. That is DeVoeChevy.com. Free throw for Adams coming up after this break on the Gamebridge Radio Network from Learfield. Thank you to Jason Shively at Victory Hunt of Muncie for his support of Ball State Athletics. Visit victorymuncie.com. That is victorymuncie.com. Check out the folks at Jason Shively. They're Victory Hunt of Muncie, proud supporters of Ball State Athletics, and also a huge helper to so many of us in the Ball State Athletics department. I know Dan Wolford and Chris Radican, part of our radio network crew, have all had visits to Jason Shively, and they have all had exceptional experiences. Toledo 60, Ball State 59. The last 3 minutes and 50 seconds to go. David Eha, Mick Tidra with you. Matt Tuttle producing. This has been such a quality MAC game here from Savage Arena in Toledo.
Yeah, it really has been back and forth. Cards had a 7-point lead at half. Toledo went on a 26-11 run to start the half. Cards have battled back. Isaiah Adams, 85% free throw shooter. However, 2 for 4 here tonight. Got a box out.
He has 15 points to lead the Rockets offense, and Adams swishes the free throw to convert the three-point play. 61-59, Rockets ahead of the Cardinals, 3:50 to go. Toledo is 70-17 in MAC play since the start of 2020. They at home are 38-5 in the MAC since 2020 began. Can the Ball State Cardinals win this for the second time in the last 3 years in this building and be part of that small loss column as Jones throws it for Sparks? There's a foul on the entry pass. That's only Toledo's 4th foul, leading 61-59, 3 minutes and 31 seconds to go.
Well, that was a set play coming out of the timeout. It was drawn to get Peyton Sparks the ball, space the floor. Simmons with the foul. Wansi Gorosito in, Mason Jones out. I wouldn't be surprised, Mick, if you're going to start seeing Coach Lewis sub offense for defense.
Toledo 61, Ball State 59. 3.5 minutes to go from Toledo, Ohio. Watts inbounds to Gorosito, who fakes a three from the left corner, then backs it up to Hill from the right wing. Hill's calling for the screen. He gets one from Sparks. 10 to shoot. Hill attacks, up and under, misses right. Grabs the miss, gives to Sparks, up and under, hits it at a foul. Peyton Sparks ties the game and has a chance to give Ball State the lead with 3:17.
Great job on the weak side that time by Sparks. Positioned himself, got the rebound, the hoop, and the harm. As we talked about, offense for defense. Gorosito out, Mason Jones in.
Sparks can give the Cardinals the lead back with a free throw here to our right. Cards are 10 of 12 today. And Sparks rattles it down. Sparks with 14 points and 7 rebounds. 62-61. Ball State's in front. We approach 3 minutes to go. The Cardinals bench rising to its feet. Coach Lewis hands down his legs as he watches Lewis receive the entry pass on the baseline left. Lewis against Hill, and a foul before the shot. Hill was wrapped up with him, and they've charged Jamari Fat Hill with the personal.
And that's the Cardinals' 16th foul, so no free throws yet. Reset of 20 on the shot clock.
Hill has 3 fouls now, joins Watts in that department. Entry pass to Adams, works against Jones. Jones, one-on-one. Adams backing him down. Adams to the rim, stops, pulls up. Fadeaway Jay misses it, but Fortis, another rebound. That's the 12th offensive rebound for the Rockets today. 62-61. Ball State's in front, 2:40 remains. Adams receives the pass, baseline left, hook shot misses. Sparks taps the ball out to Joey Hart for Ball State, who collects and gives to Watts.
All right, Mick, so at this end, if you put Sparks in the pick and roll with Fat, you get a switch on Simmons.
Hill looks to head coach Michael Lewis, who's directing orders. Hill receives a screen from Sparks, drives baseline, scoops, misses it. Sparks the follow, misses the dunk, but he's fouled. What a sequence. What a play that they drew up to get that to happen. Hill just missed it, and Sparks able to go to the free throw line.
Yeah, so you know you can get the switch. So you're probably, that's the 3rd time in probably the last 5 possessions they've run that action. Jamari, once he gets switched with Simmons guarding him, there's no way he can stay in front.
Big free throws for Peyton Sparks to the right free throw line. The first one for the lefty is pure. 63-61. Cardinals lead the Rockets. 2 minutes and 19 seconds to go.
Give Peyton 15 points, 8 rebounds.
In 26 minutes on 6 of 8 shooting. Sparks takes a long look at the rim, heaves one up, and it touches every part of that orange rim and drops home.
All right, Mick, got to finish possessions with rebounds right here.
3-point lead, and Todd Kowalczyk calls Wilson over to him, and they burn a timeout. 64-61. Ball State's in front with 2 minutes and 16 seconds to go. Thank you to Family Vision Care for being proud sponsors of Ball State Athletics. Visit them in person at 4801 West Bethel Avenue in Muncie or online at fvceyes.com. Defensively, you see, you got to box out, got to finish. Each team's rebounded 29 times, and the difference is Toledo has 12 offensive rebounds compared to Ball State's 7 that have led to 9 second-chance points. Ironically, the Cardinals have more second-chance points, but it has opened the door for Toledo to take more shots. They've taken 11 more field goals and hit 3 more field goals than Ball State.
Well, that's exactly right. I mean, that's a lot of possessions and extra shots, right? So particularly with a team as potent offensively as Toledo. So that's what it's going to come down to. You got to get stops, secure the rebounds. And both teams now with 16 fouls. So you're going to be shooting free throws either way.
The unexpected happens every day, and when it does, head to Kohl's at Kohls.com for everything your family needs. Kohl's, where families come first.
Each team with 2 timeouts. And the Cardinals are rolling with the same lineup. Mickey Pearson, Gorosito on the bench. You've got Joey Hart, Mason Jones, Hill, Watts, and Sparks.
The final 2 minutes and 16 seconds from Savage Arena in Toledo, Ohio sees the scoreboard read Ball State 64, Toledo 61. The Rockets have the basketball working right to left as Wilson rolls off a screen straight away outside the perimeter, gives to Simmons, and a handoff to Lewis. Step in, straightaway 3, bounces out. Simmons climbs the ladder for a 12th offensive rebound for the Rockets.
That's the story.
Ford receives a screen, drives the baseline, and finger rolls one down. It's a 1-point game, 64-63. Ball State clinging to a 1-point advantage with 1:50 remaining. The Cardinals seek 4 straight wins. Toledo would lose 3 straight in MAC play for the first time since 2020 if the Cardinals could hold on. Ball State basketball, Jones has it, midcourt logo, stands idle, flips it to Hill. Hill with 10 to shoot and a team best 16 points. Receives a screen from Sparks. Drives baseline right. Navigates through traffic. Misses short. Rebound Ford. Toledo full throttle on the Jets with Ford. Coast to coast. Scoops one up. Misses. Simmons the O-board. Put back no. And the rim protects everybody, but it falls into the lap of Sparks. And there's a whistle. 3 bodies hit the floor. And there is a foul called, but on who?
Everybody's waiting. Tariq Lucas, the official, they're going to go over to the monitor. There's still no call, though. Everybody's saying, wait.
You got to call the foul first, right, before you review, don't you? Doesn't there have to be a foul called?
Right.
So there hasn't been anybody throwing a foul on yet. 64-63 is the Ball State lead with 1:13 remaining in the game. This is peculiar.
And Mick, so 3 players hit the deck, but before that, Cardinals got stops, but 2 more offensive rebounds by the Rockets.
See what this call is. This will be interesting.
This is a huge call in this game right here.
Fans, be sure to check out West Fork Whiskey, newly partnered with Ball State Athletics. Visit them in person in Westfield, Indiana, or online at westforkwhiskey.com.
Again, the intriguing thing about this whole situation is, what did the referee call?
So we're getting word now that Sonny Wilson was charged with a foul. Sonny Wilson was whistled for the foul. And now they're going to see if it was indeed him that committed the foul, as Ball State leads at 64-63 with 1:13. That makes a lot more sense. I didn't see any 3 of the officials put up a number. Maybe they said it when they were walking over to midcourt.
Yeah, because Michael Lewis had both of his arms up. And, you know, the other thing is, who did he foul? Right? Which
That's
one of the
also
Cardinals
true,
are going to the charity stripe right here?
Lot to sort out. A 1-point game that's been an incredible one. There's only been 2 lead changes and 1 tie. For as close as this game has been, it hasn't been scoreboard back and forth. It's been teams trading buckets, getting a few stops.
And Lamont Simpson over there right now, one of the most veteran officials in the league, has officiated the Big Ten, numerous NCAA tournaments. And they're talking about it right now.
So we get the word. We thank Jeff Jackson at Awards Plus in downtown Muncie, who makes all the plaques for our Pride Mark Student Athlete of the Week. Check out Jeff for all of your awards needs. Visit theawardsplus.com.
And we have no access to replay. They're not showing it on the big board.
They're not, but everybody's walking down to Ball State's side of the floor to our right for free throw attempts.
It looks like
and Ethan Britton Watts is getting ready to line up for shots. So the foul stays on Wilson, and Watts going to the free throw line. 64-63, Ball State in front with 1 minute and 13 seconds to go here from Toledo, Ohio.
Ethan, 80% on the year, 25 of 31.
And Ball State today, 13 of 15. That's good for 86%. Watts shoots to the right into the band and into some of the students who are making noise. Watts free throw bangs home. A crowd silencer for the moment. 2-point Ball State lead. Coach Lewis is leaning up against media row on the far side to the bench right, legs crossed. Watts bends the knees, flicks the right wrist, and the second free throw is all twine. Cardinals lead by 3, 66-63 as we approach 1 minute to go in the game. Wilson picks it up, surges ahead in the front court, looks to head coach Todd Kowalczyk, stands in front of the bench. Kick to Lewis, off to Adams, drives baseline left, flips it over to Ford, who picks it up. A left-handed teardrop shot rolls in with a minute to go. 66-65, Ball State leads. A huge possession for both Ball State's offense and Toledo's defense. The Savage Arena crowd making some noise as Hill walks toward midcourt, cleans his shoes with each hand. With his bright purple shoes, yo-yos the dribble, and looks to head coach Michael Lewis. Shot clock hits 10, game clock hits 36. Ball State up by 1. Fat Hill racing toward the rim. He's cut off, loses control. Out to Jones with 3 to shoot. Jones to Watts, down to 1 to shoot. Step in, left wing 3. He missed it. It's a shot clock violation anyway. And with 27 seconds to go in the game, Toledo's going to have a chance to win it. 66-65, Ball State leads here from Savage Arena. And now they're going to go review this shot. I saw one of the officials hit his wrist. They said shot clock violation, and it was an air ball short. Presumably he means checking the clock for time.
That would
because
have
you can't review a foul, right?
No, that's absolutely right. So, I mean, if anything, it means putting a couple seconds back on the game clock, which is at 27. The shot clock is off as of right now. That was a good defensive sequence by Toledo. I'm really surprised that the Cardinals had Mason Jones set that screen, so you were switching two wing players as opposed to Peyton Sparks setting that screen, and Jamari Hill had nowhere to go. Now, Mick, you need to buck up, don't foul.
Need the biggest defensive possession of the year.
And rebound. Don't forget, that's been the Achilles heel. 14 O-boards for Toledo. If you get the stop, you need 5 guys on the glass.
Thank you, Terry Schreier at St. Pierce Chevrolet in Daleville for your support of Ball State Athletics. Visit sampierschevy.com. That is sampierschevy.com.
So they added 0.4.
Yes, 0.4 seconds. 27.4 seconds to go. Ball State 66, Toledo 65. Yeah, blaring by Usher. Inbounds pass to Wilson. Toledo could hold for the final shot if they want it. Adams drives to the free throw line left. He's stopped by Jones and a flip out to Lewis. Clock to 15 seconds. Cards lead by 1. Jones deflects it. Adams grabs it, and there's a foul. There's a foul with 12.7 seconds left of the game, and it's on Mason Jones.
Wow. Mason Jones did a great job of fronting, denying Adams. The ball was tipped. Mason thought the foul was on Adams. That's okay. Now you got a free throw box out. Still plenty of time here.
Ball State 66, Toledo 65. 12.7 seconds to go. 1-1 for Adams, and he hits the first free throw. A tie ball game, 66 all with 12.7 seconds.
Most likely no timeout here. They'll put it in the hands of you-know-who, Fat Hill.
Ball State's played 2 straight overtime games. This is a tie ball game with 12.7 seconds, and Adams hits the free throw. Coach Lewis calls timeout. Toledo 67, Ball State 66 with 12.7 seconds to go. David Eha, you said get the ball to Fat Hill. He yammed 2 games ago to win it in overtime against Eastern Michigan. You have to think Toledo was preparing for that during this huddle and timeout that Coach Lewis just called.
Yeah, absolutely, and I wouldn't be surprised again, Peyton Sparks, when he sets the screen, you get a switch onto a bigger player. Coach Lewis inserted Wansi Gorosito, so you have another shooter in the lineup. Fat with 6 assists tonight. That's the other thing, why you put the ball in his hands. He draws so much attention. He's got the ability to find the open man if he's not the guy.
We'll have the Starry postgame show coming up at the conclusion of this one. We'll hear with head coach Michael Lewis. Recap this one. A lot to talk about. 67-66. Toledo leads Ball State with 12.7 seconds to go. Cardinals looking for 4 straight wins. Toledo trying to avoid 3 straight losses at MAC play for the first time since 2020. This has been a thrilling game. It's been a tight one throughout. Ball State led by 11 points in the first half, but that shrunk quickly. Toledo had an 8-point lead with 9 minutes to go in the game. Ball State came back. They traded leads here a few times down the stretch. And here we go. Joey Hart, Ethan Britton Watts, Wansi Gorosito, Peyton Sparks, and Fat Hill, the 5 on the floor for Ball State. The Cardinals have to go the length of the floor from left to right. Trailing Toledo 67-66. Joey Hart set to inbound for Ball State. They have 1 timeout left if they need it. Ethan Britton Watts receives the entry pass, crosses the midcourt timeline, 8 seconds to go. Ball State trails by 1 on the road to Toledo. It's Fat Hill, free throw line right, 2 seconds to go. Bounces down to the baseline right, throws one up, he hits the shot! Fat Hill hits the shot at the buzzer! The Cardinals with a game winner at the buzzer, courtesy of Fat Hill. He does it again for the 2nd time in 3 games. Fat Hill sends Ball State to victory with the last-second bucket.
The closer, Fat Hill. Peyton Sparks set the screen, he got the switch, and Fat Hill does what Fat Hill does, finishing amongst the bigs. They're going to look at it, but Mick, that surely looked good.
The officials have rallied at the monitor. The score stands at 68-67. Ball State at this moment has won it. The officials looking at it. Did Fat Hill get the shot off in time? Did Fat Hill make this before the horn sounds? Anxiety building as Fat Hill's walking around and looking at his teammates dapping him up. Everybody's waiting. Fans putting their coats on, waiting for the official word. The Rockets crowd says, no, he didn't make it. The Ball State crowd has hands on their head. We're looking at the replay at the monitor. There's point 3. He's got the ball in his hand. Ball still in his hand at point 1. Then they moved away from the replay on the monitor. So we'll see if this counts. The Toledo crowd starting to clap a little bit and say it didn't make it in time. Again, there has to be definitive evidence that Fat Hill did not let it go in time because they called it a made shot. 68-67 is what it stands as right now. Ball State victorious.
That's the key point, Mick. You're right.
It's got to be very, very evident that the shot did not get off in time, as the officials are still looking at this one. Wow, this is intense. Everybody on pins and needles. Coach Lewis is already walking toward it.
Coach Lewis is almost to the locker room already. Everybody else hanging at their respective benches.
He's watching it from afar at this moment as the officials are still looking at this replay. 68-67 Ball State at this moment. And we'll see if this goes in. We'll see if this goes in. It has to, again, be inconclusive. David Iha, we're waiting for this. And this is the longest replay I think Ball State has been a part of in a long time.
We are, and the TV crew to our left, we don't have access to a replay. They're trying to say that it might still have been on Fat's fingertips. Lord, I hope not.
And the officials are all coming together again. 68-67. Ball State wins right as of this moment. The officials have huddled. They're talking. Both teams anxiously waiting. The crowd standing.
I mean, the crazy thing about this, it's win or loss.
It's over here either way. And they say no good. They take the basket away from Fat Hill. They take it away from Jermari Fat Hill. Toledo wins it. Hill didn't get it in time. And the Rockets win 67-66 as Ball State has the bucket taken away from them. They said with 0.1 seconds, Fat Hill had the ball on his fingertips, and the Cardinals lose it 67-66. And from pure jubilation and elation to downright heartbreak and hurt for the Ball State Cardinals in Toledo, Ohio. We'll have the Starry post-game show next. Cardinals fall to Toledo 67-66 on the Gamebridge Radio Network from Learfield. Welcome into the Starry postgame show, Cardinal fans. Ball State falls 67-66 here from Savage Arena. Heartbreak from Toledo, Ohio. As Ball State falls, they waved off Fat Hill's game-winning shot at the buzzer for a Toledo victory, 67-66. It was literally a fingertip of a difference of that ball going off in time to it not going in time. And so the Cardinals fall 67-66 here. We're getting some clarification. There was, you can see a scoreboard in the background, and we were determining if that was actually the actual scoreboard and then the red lights on the backboard going off, and there was a difference, but they said that was above and not part of the clock. So that's what I was positive for, to see, get some clarification there. But Ball State does indeed fall 67-66 here on the Starry postgame show. Make sure to grab an ice-cold Starry lemon lime soda for the game. Starry hits different. Starry is a proud sponsor of Ball State Athletics. We'll come back and have head coach Michael Lewis joining us on the postgame show on the Gamebridge Radio Network from Learfield. Welcome back inside the Starry postgame show. Here as Ball State falls to Toledo 67-66. It was a close one. Fat Hill had a chance for Ball State to win it. They called the bucket a made shot at the horn, and then went to look at it, the replay monitor. They took the bucket away, so it's 67-66, and the final score is a Toledo victory here from Toledo, Ohio. E was able to run down and talk with head coach Michael Lewis here on the Starry Postgame Show, and here is that conversation.
Joined by Coach Lewis on the postgame. Coach, what did you see on that last possession?
Well, it's hard to tell. The feed that I saw, I thought it looked good live. Obviously, live's different. They called it good, and the little whatever the iPad that the Mac provides, the angle that we have, you cannot tell definitively if it's in his hand or not. So therefore, you got to go with what was called. I think one guy had it good, one guy had it not. I don't know if the other guy had the stones to step up. So it's a tough way to lose, but it's never the last play. I thought our defense the first 10 minutes of the second half really cost us. We gave up 26 points in 10 minutes. We gave up 13 the rest of the way after a very solid first half. To me, that's the story of the game. So, and I thought during that time frame, I thought we got a little offensive sensitive. I thought some guys got a little selfish in some areas that we got to clean up. But that's a really tough way to lose because I thought our guys gave us a pretty good effort.
Yeah, they did, Coach. You talk about that first 10 minutes, a 26-11 run. What was it defensively where the breakdowns were occurring?
Well, we didn't get back on defense. Right? We weren't getting to the level of the ball. We let Sonny Wilson get ahead of steam. You can't guard him when he has a head of steam. We're jogging back. We're backpedaling instead of sprinting back and building walls in transition like we did the first half. And then that leads to poor offensive play. You can tell when some guys didn't get the ball in some of those stretches, they put their heads down and jog back. That's unacceptable. I will not tolerate it. I will not tolerate it. And that's what these guys got to understand. We're not going to finish the season and play that way. So we got to clean that up because they've shown they've gone toe-to-toe with some of the best in this league. And to hold that team to that point total, the only thing disappointing is the first 10 minutes of the second half.
All right, Coach. Thanks. We'll see you on Saturday.
Thank you.
Head coach Michael Lewis joining us on the Starry postgame show after Ball State falls 67-66. E, what are your thoughts from that?
Well, I was down there right when they brought the iPad over, so I'm there with Coach Lewis going through it like the Zapruder film, stop, freeze frame, and like he said, I mean, it's really hard, and what Michael Lewis was asking one of the officials down there, not the referees, but somebody from either the league office to say, I want to see any angles that they were looking at the replay, because if it was something other than what Michael Lewis was looking at, and again, that's the contention. Had you called it no basket and there was conclusive proof, but the fact that they called it a basket, could you really tell that it was still on his fingertips? But, I agree with his assessment. It was that first 10 minutes of the second half. But look, clearly the Cardinals are showing they can go toe-to-toe with any team in this league. So, you got to take the positives from it, but this one definitely stings. That would have been a big W to get going against a top team like this on the road.
And it would have been a fourth straight win for Ball State, but taken away after Hill's buckets called no good, not in time. 67-66, Ball State falls to Toledo. This is the Starry Postgame Show. We'll come back and look at stats on the Gamebridge Radio Network from Learfield. Back inside the Starry post-game show, final score 67-66. Ball State drops to Toledo. After that, again, we thought buzzer beater from Fat Hill. Taken away after review. They say his fingertips were still on the ball as time expired, and it's waved off. Cardinals fall by 1 point. Let's take a look at our check and stats presented by Mitts. What do those final numbers look like?
All right, Mick, the Cardinals outshot the Rockets. However, the big differential, Cards 23 of 47, 48%. Rockets only 45%, 28 of 62, but 15 more field goal attempts due to the turnovers and the second chance opportunities. From the three-point line, Cards were 5 of 15, 33%, 15 of 17 from the foul line, 88%. Toledo just 3 of 14 from 3, 21%, 8 of 12 from the free throw line, 66%. Cards lost the rebounding battle, 32-30. As we talked about, 14 offensive rebounds to just 7 for the Cardinals, even though Ball State had a 12-11 advantage in second chance points. Eventually, that many opportunities paid dividends for the Rockets. Assists, it was the Cardinals 14 on their 23 field goals to go with 13 turnovers. Meanwhile, the Rockets, 13 assists. They turned it over only 8 times. Points off turnovers, big story of the game. Toledo with a 19-6 edge in that category. Cardinals had 6 steals to Toledo's 7, and from an individual standpoint, 3 in double figures for Ball State. Jamari Hill was 16. He was 6 of 15 from the field, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals in 36 minutes. Peyton Sparks also had 16, 1 rebound short of a double-double with 9. Peyton was 6 of 8 from the field, 4 of 5 from the line. Juancy Gorosito, 3 of 5 from deep, 4 of 6 overall. Give him 13 points. Ethan Britton Watts, 9 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. Mickey Pearson played 21 minutes, 2 points on 1 of 5 shooting. Joey Hart, Mason Jones, Jeremiah Hernandez, all 2 points. Ben Hendricks with 4 points. Zane Dowdy played 2 minutes, did not score. For Toledo, they had 3 in double figures, led by Isaiah Adams, 18 points on 6 of 13 shooting. After that, Sonny Wilson, 12 points. Sam Lewis, 12 points. Javen Simmons, 9 points, 9 rebounds. After that, Jalen Owinga had 2, Hubbard with 4, and Gerger Burchick with 3. Cardinals fall 67-66. Cards move to 13-13 overall, 6-7 in MAC play. Meanwhile, the Rockets move to 16-10. They are now 9-4 in Mid-American Conference.
That is our check of stats presented by Mitts. Check out the Mitts Bus app and ride with Mitts today. We'll step aside one final time, come back on the Starry postgame show, wrap things up from Toledo. Cards drop by 1 on the Gamebridge Radio Network. From Learfield. Wrapping up the Story postgame show here on the Cardinals Gamebridge Radio Network. 67-66, Toledo defeats Ball State. Cardinals, like he said, dropped to 13-13, 6-7 in the MAC. Toledo's now 16-10, 9-4 in conference. Let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Eastern Michigan defeats Miami, Ohio, 76-66. Western Michigan throttles Buffalo, 97-64. Akron, 73-63 win over Northern Illinois. Kent State defeats Bowling Green, 91-84. And Ohio holds on to beat Central Michigan 84-82. That is our MAC scoreboard. So the standings currently have Ball State in a three-way tie for sixth place. Since Western Michigan beat Ball State, the Cardinals beat the Eagles of Eastern Michigan. It means Ball State's in seventh, Eastern Michigan in eighth, Western Michigan's in sixth. So still a lot to figure out, but right now it seems like the top 8 teams, Ball State's within that threshold, but at 6-7 right now. They got to go against Buffalo on Saturday at home, who's 3-10 in conference play, 8-18 overall. Looking at this Buffalo matchup Saturday, it's a big one for a chance for Ball State to respond, for one. Two, they beat Buffalo already on the road. It's not a must-win game, right? Because you never want to label it as must-win games, but to get a win on Saturday, get this bad taste out of your mouth, get back even in the MAC, would just feel so much better.
Well, there's no question about that. And look, I mean, Buffalo is struggling mightily. They got hammered at home today by Western Michigan. Here's the other thing, Mick. You're going home for 2 consecutive games. You got Buffalo and Akron. So, I mean, for this game right here, I mean, that is a tough one. But the fact that you've got 2 in a row at home and you can take care of business at Buffalo. But, again, it doesn't matter. Like, it's about getting better and being able to play your best basketball in March when you get to Cleveland. And the Cardinals are certainly rounding into form. Got to figure out a way to play a full 40 minutes. That first 10 minutes of the second half cost them here today. And very easily, if not for a referee's call there at the end, they would have walked out of here with their 4th consecutive win. So big opportunity to get back at it Saturday and get in the win column.
But what you said there is really important. Ball State rounding into form. 3 games on a win streak, snapped today, but come into this place where Toledo's 37-5 since 2020 at home in MAC play and almost win it. A fingertip was the difference here today. A fingertip from Fat Hill getting that shot off in time to it not going down in time. You're seeing Ball State play like the team walking into the season that we thought they would be at this point. They have grown. They've learned to play together. We're starting to see it happen. And I think that's one of the most encouraging parts of this whole situation is you are seeing the growth in front of our eyes the last couple of weeks of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's all you're playing for, right? I mean, no one's getting an at-large. You want to be when you get to Cleveland, can you win 3 games in 3 days? And as we've seen in this league, I mean, Eastern taking care of Miami. Like, this is going to be wide open. You get on a neutral floor. And here's the other thing, Mick, and we haven't really talked much about this. Look at the teams at the top, Akron and Miami. They rely extremely heavily on the three-point shot.
Yes.
You're going to an NBA arena where the Cavs play for the MAC tournament. Rims are tighter. All it takes is one bad shooting light like Miami had tonight. So, you know, it's going to be as wide open as ever. You got to secure your spot, but the Cardinals are certainly playing better basketball. Now you got to just try to be as consistent as possible and do it for a full 40 minutes.
Cards at home play Buffalo on Saturday. Mark Forrester, Scott Bunnell on the radio. E and I slide over to TV for Saturday, but we will have Cardinals basketball as they take on the Buffalo Bulls. Appreciate your tuning in here tonight. Ball State falls 67-66 to Toledo. Special thank you to Matt Tuttle for helping us work through technical difficulties. Sean Manningley, thank you for helping as well. Back there at our network studios. For my partner, David Ehop, I'm Mick Tidrow saying so long. Also a special thank you to the Toledo IT department and staff trying to help us out as well because there were a lot of things happening and nobody was sure of what it was until we got a solution. So thank you to Toledo staff as well. So appreciate you tuning in. We'll talk with you coming up soon. Ball State falls today. It's been a presentation of the Cardinals Gamebridge Radio Network from Learfield.